All right, to discuss, we're joined by the Director General in the Department of Small Business Development, Lindokuhle Mkhumane. Director General, thank you for joining us. There is a sense that we pay lip service to small business and their development. We've been talking about support for years. Then people saying, you know, what was the tangible benefits in yesterday's budget and what will be different about this Business Viability Scheme?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good evening to your viewers. Definitely, I think the support that we have provided in the past has not been sufficient. If you understand that 98% of formal businesses in South Africa are small businesses, so the support should be skewed towards supporting small businesses. But we believe that with us working together, government and business, we can do something that will make a difference. With the Business Viability Scheme, we understand that most of businesses, they've come back to us and say, listen, COVID has affected us. We not continue doing things the way we used to do. We need new business processes. We need new software. We need new machinery that will assist us to deliver on the orders that are required. But we also need to change the way we do business totally. So we came up with the scheme, which is looking at plugging the gap between COVID pandemic and how SMMEs can adjust to contribute now to the economic growth and the economic reconstruction and recovery plan that was announced by the president. So it's targeted towards assisting those SMMEs who have identified challenges that they are facing. Now they are looking at what can they do to do things differently so that they can survive this post-pandemic period.
And how easy is it to apply? You know, that's one of the hurdles, trying to get your application in, get the money out. Will that be easy?
Yes, because we are dealing with taxpayers' money, there are things that we are obliged to do. Otherwise, we'll have trouble with the Auditor General come end of the financial year. There are things that are basic that you require. A business must be formally registered. A business must be tax compliant. A business must at least have license if you need the license. But what we are saying is because these businesses are already operational, so we expect them to at least have some records to show that this is what we've been doing even before the pandemic. So they should be able to show us what they've been doing, how the pandemic has affected them, what exactly are they looking for, so that they can be able to do things differently so that they can be able to survive. So there are basic things that we are looking for. But it's not a lot of information that we require. But what we're also doing, we've just launched what we call an SMMESA.gov.za, which is a database. There we want SMEs to register. Once you register there, the information is kept in the system. So when you apply for another intervention, it becomes easier for you just retrieve that information. When you log in, your information is brought to the screen. Then you just go straight and apply for that particular intervention.
If we say that previous support schemes are an indicator of success, should we be hopeful here? Because the President was speaking about those who were helped by the relief around COVID-19. But so many experts on the show have said a lot of the small businesses that really needed to access funds were rejected. Are you able to tell us what percentage of the small businesses that applied for COVID-19 debt relief were actually given that relief?
Okay, in terms of the businesses that applied, we had total of over 34,000 applications. And if you calculate the amount of money that was required by those 34,000 businesses is 4.4 billion. And we only had a budget of around 500 million. So you can see that the need was huge. But we couldn't satisfy this need because of the limited resources that we have as government. Yeah. But what we are saying then, it calls for us to work closely with the private sector. Remember, there is a 200 billion scheme that was designed by National Treasury with the Reserve Bank. That scheme, you can see that the demand is not, in fact, the uptake. The demand is high, but the uptake is very low because the challenges that SMMEs have brought to us is that they are working through commercial banks, and commercial banks, they apply this stringent criterion which does not assist them in any way, because even if you are a long-standing client of that particular bank, they still treat you like they don't know you. Yeah. So that's the challenge that we are facing. And we have set back, or we are not just criticizing that scheme, but what we have done, we've put together a proposal and we've submitted this proposal to National Treasury. We are saying to Treasury, if you can tweak these things, you can be able to have, a quick uptake of the scheme, because we're utilizing what we call a Kula Credit Guarantee Scheme, which is a subsidiary of our Small Enterprise Finance Agency. And this Kula Credit Guarantee Scheme is regulated by the Reserve Bank. So it's a very credible institution that we want to make sure that it's plugged into this 200 billion guarantee scheme so that we can have a bigger uptake.
All right, it's good that that's being paid attention to. You said something earlier that we all know that there hasn't been enough support for small businesses, even though the National Development Plan years and years ago said that 90% of jobs would come from small businesses. They should be the engine of growth by 2030. Why do you think we're only waking up now?
I think maybe it's a lack of understanding, but at least now we've woken up as government. That's why I think this department was established in the first place, that you need a specific department that will focus on this mandate. Remember, previously, small business issues were part of a bigger mandate of the Department of Trade and Industry. So there was that skewed attention that was paid to small businesses, because it was just a small portion of the bigger mandate of the DTIC. So there was really a lack of understanding. But for now, what has happened is in the MTSF, which is the medium-term strategic framework of government, we have specific targets that talk to small businesses. For example, the development finance institutions are told that a certain percentage of their funding must go to supporting small business. So they are forced by this the medium-term strategic framework to support small businesses. I think it's 50% of their funding. So IDCs, the NEFs, land banks, all these big DFIs, they must support small businesses. And we are also working on what we call as SMME and Cooperatives funding policy, because there's never been one in the country. There is money that is set aside for supporting small businesses, but everyone, they just do what they like with that money. Others, they will be providing grants, others will be providing loans, others will be providing equipment. Even the different spheres of government, they'll be doing different things. So we want to make sure that this is properly coordinated, because government has been setting aside money, but the problem was the implementation or the way this money is channeled.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up. I'm very interested in government support for small business. One of the outrages, I don't know if you're following it, around the health department contract with a communications company for 82 million rand, was that this was a small business from KwaZulu-Natal. The implication seems to be that if you want to get millions from government, you have to be a big company. Is that how it's working in practice?
No, it shouldn't be like that. But I think if we are honest, remember the issue of setting aside of 30% of procurement opportunities to small business and cooperatives was pronounced upon in 2014. Even now, we have not gained any traction. So the Minister of Finance yesterday, he did make a big commitment that the procurement bill that is being discussed will be finalized before the end of this calendar year. So that makes us hopeful, because we will ask different government departments, why are you not spending at least 30% of your procurement spend on small business and SMMEs? And they will tell you that, no, we don't know where these SMMEs are. So, but there was a lack of willingness to go that extra mile to get SMMEs. But we are also saying from our side as a department, we need to make sure that we have SMEs who are capable of delivering, because you don't also want these SMEs to disappoint you. If they don't have capacity, definitely they won't be able to meet the orders that are brought to them. So we are supporting them. We have a scheme called the Manufacturing Scheme, Small Enterprise Manufacturing Scheme, just to assist SMEs to increase capacity or their manufacturing capacity.
All right. Well, thank you for the full explanations tonight. That was the Director General in the Department of Small Business Development, Lindokuhle Mkhumane.